In other news tonight, the U.S. continues to believe that a handful of Americans were taken hostage by Hamas. U.S. officials say there is nothing known about the conditions of the captives, but now confirms at least 30 Americans have died since the outbreak of war between Israel and Hamas. Relief groups are calling for humanitarian aid to enter the Gaza Strip, which the United Nations says is being strangled. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was back in Israel and expressed the U.S.'s deep commitment to Israel.
You know our deep commitment to Israel's right, indeed its obligation, to defend itself and to defend its people. And in that, you have and will always have the support of the United States.
Palestinian officials say Israel's assault has killed at least 2,750 people and injured more than 9,700 in Gaza.
The Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis is working to help people understand the war in the Middle East. News 8's Camila Fernandez spoke with the Federation's leader about how city and state leaders are helping with this effort.
The attacks in Israel have impacted the lives of many, and here in Indianapolis, the Jewish community has taken steps to find hope in the midst of war.
There's so much to do still. Even though it's been a week, this is not going away.
Mark Swatez is the CEO of the Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis.
This was a really horrible thing. My grandparents were Holocaust survivors. I lost a great deal of my family in the Holocaust. And this was the single biggest day of mass murder against the Jews since then.
Swatez says these past few days have been heart-wrenching.
I know people who were killed in the massacre. I know people who were taken hostage in this crisis. And I know people who have been called up to military service, friends of my children, relatives of mine who are now serving Israeli military.
While it's easy to feel discouraged, Swatez says they have found support in the community.
The last thing you want to do is sit here in Indianapolis and feel helpless. So giving money, we've gathered together as a community, formally as a broad community to show comfort to one another, going to synagogue.
He says they've received positive messages from people across the state.
The mayor came to our community gathering. A whole lot of senators came to our community gathering. Governor Holcomb lowered the flag at the Capitol. He raised the Israeli flag over the residence. I mean, it's just been tremendous how people have come out to support the Jewish community.
While the fighting continues, Swatez says it's important to show solidarity.
This was just a brutal, brutal event that shouldn't happen. It's so dehumanizing. And anything that we can do to help is what we ought to do, what we have an obligation to do.
The Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis is asking people to continue to show support during these difficult times. I'm Camila Fernandez for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook.